and welcome to the very first episode of the Primary Pod. The Primary Pod is a new podcast run by GCS students. My name is Adarsh and I'm really excited to be here with you today.
And I'm Dura. We're proud to be your head boy and head girl for this academic year, and we can't wait to get started on this brand new podcast journey.
The aim of the Primary Pod is simple. It's all about student voice. We want to share our ideas and experiences as primary leaders, give everyone an insight into life here at GCS, and shine a spotlight on the amazing things that are happening across our school.
Throughout the year, we'll be interviewing people from the GCS community, from teachers and leaders, to students and special guests. We'll talk about leadership, learning, and the things that really matter to us as a school.
But most importantly, we want to make the GCS, the Primary Pod, fun, engaging, and get to know our guests a little better. Dura, tell us more about the GCS Hi-Fi.
Yes, that's right. Every time we get a guest on the Primary Pod, we will ask the GCS High Five questions in order to get to know the guests a little bit better.
So let's quickly discuss the format of the Primary Pod. Student leaders will sit down for a one-to-one interview with the guests to ask questions, discuss key issues at GCS, and of course, the already mentioned GCS High Five questions.
The Primary Pod will be hosted by a different student leader each time, which is a great opportunity for our student leaders.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy listening to the very first episode of the Primary Pod. We hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed creating it. Dura, you will be our first host, interviewing Mr. Bryce. That should be fun. Good luck.
Yes, that's right. Let's get on with the episode. We are starting today with a quick interview with Mr. Bryce, the primary deputy head who also leads the whole school leadership across primary and secondary. Welcome, Mr. Bryce. You're the very first guest on the Primary Pod. How are you today?
Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm very well, thank you. And I'm really excited to be the first guest.
I have a few questions for you, if that's okay.
Absolutely. I'm more than happy to answer your questions, but I will have some for you too.
Of course. And we'll finish with our soon-to-be famous GCS High Five questions. So let's make a start. Can you tell us why student leadership is so important in our school?
I think it's important to give students the opportunity to develop and learn new skills. Leadership skills are so important, not just in school, but in real life and for further life in terms of when they're an adult, going to university, in their jobs. There's always a need for leaders, and there's always a need to learn how to follow good leadership. So it's an opportunity to inspire each other, not just teachers inspiring you, but also you guys inspiring the other students.
All right. What skills do you think student leaders develop by taking on these roles?
I think it's important that you have the ability to listen to the student voice, to listen to the needs of your friends, but show that resilience and also the chance to think of others. It's not just about putting yourself first anymore, it's about thinking of the whole school and community. But that goes through communication skills and building your confidence as a leader and kind of working with other people. Those collaboration, those teamwork skills are so massively important. But learning to delegate, and I suppose the most important thing would be to learning to organize your time.
Okay. What will be different about student leadership this year at GCS?
Well, this year we actually have 108 student leaders in primary so far, and I'm sure there's bound to be more. We have new initiatives with Eco Warriors, led by Miss Helen. We have Wellbeing Leaders, led by Miss Rasha. And we have a brand new Student Council, led by Mr. Aiden, and that's a representative from each single class in primary.
Wow. What advice would you give to students who might want to apply for leadership in the future?
I think it's important just to be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Show responsibility every single day in school, but listen to others. Listen to what other people think, not just always talking. Listening is such an important skill. Building positive relationships, but also get involved into school life.
Thank you for answering my questions. And you mentioned that you had some for me, right?
I do. So, you are the brand new primary head girl for this year. What made you want to apply to be head girl?
So the thing that really made me want to apply is that I love the opportunity that I got last year to be the Deputy House Captain of Integrity, and I love to carry a big responsibility. I want to showcase to be a good role model. I want to showcase all the GCS core values, and I want to represent the school mostly.
Good. And how did it feel when you had to speak in front of your peers during the application process?
I felt very nervous because this speech will affect on the voting too. So that it was a very nerve-wracking experience.
And how did it feel when you knew everybody was voting to get you as house captain? Head girl.
Yeah. They told us to have a step outside. So I was talking to the other people, and they asked, why was I stepping outside? I told them that the other people in the class, they were voting, and I told them that I felt quite proud of myself for trying and getting to this level, and I was really hoping to get head girl.
Good. So what do you hope to achieve in the role as head girl?
I hope to achieve in improving my confidence, my self-esteem, and also my public speaking, because I have had many problems with that before.
Good. And lastly, what advice would you give to any younger students that aspire to be a student leader when they're older?
I think the greatest advice that I could give is just have always a smile on your face and be really positive.
Good. Well, thank you, Dara. It was so nice to take some time to sit down with you today and ask each other some questions.
So, every guest we have on the Primary Pod will be asked the same 5 questions, which we have called the GCS High Five. The aim of these questions is to get to know you better and about you as a person outside of GCS. Are you happy to answer the questions?
Yes, I am. I'm very excited to see what you're going to ask me.
So, question 1 of the GCS High Five. What is your favorite meal and dessert?
My favorite meal would have to be pizza, pepperoni pizza, and I think for dessert that would be banoffee pie.
Number 2, what is the best place you have traveled to and why?
I would normally say the Maldives. I was a big fan of the Maldives for a long time, but last winter I was lucky enough to go to Finland in the winter, and that was just a really unique experience. It was so dark at night, so you could see millions of stars, which is something you don't get with the light pollution. And then also I got the opportunity to do snowmobiling in the snow and dog sledging, and just being in such deep white powdery snow was amazing. Obviously, because we live in the desert, that's so different.
Yeah. Number 3, if you could invite 3 famous people to dinner, who would they be?
So I'm a big Liverpool fan. I love watching football, and Liverpool have an old manager that's really inspiring. The way he builds positive relationships, the way he kind of led the football club into success was Jurgen Klopp. He's not the manager anymore, but I definitely would want to sit down and ask him some questions. I'm also a big fan of comedy. I love to laugh. I love trying to make people laugh, sometimes successfully, sometimes not. There's a good British comedian called Peter Kay, so I think I'd invite him to dinner because he'd make me laugh. And I also like music. I've been lucky enough to see Ed Sheeran a couple of times in Dubai, and I just really like his story as a musician, how he started at the bottom and went all the way to the top, and just on his own, no band. And I think, so my 4 people would be myself, Jurgen Klopp, Peter Kay, and Ed Sheeran.
Okay. Number 4, what is your biggest memory from when you were at school?
So my biggest memory was actually in primary school. I was in year 6, and we were on sports day, and it was a 4x50 meter relay. So I was number 4, number 1, number 2, number 3 had gone, and we were winning by quite some way, and I got given the baton. And I was running as fast as I could, and I'm thinking halfway, we're going to win. And then somehow I dropped the baton, and we ended up coming in last place. And I remember thinking that was the end of the world. I'd let my teammates down. I'd humiliated myself in front of the parents and the students. And I remember thinking, this is awful. But then a couple of days later, I realized nobody was talking about it anymore. Nobody really cared. And actually, that just was a bit of a life lesson. So yes, something might feel awful at the time, and in the end, but actually people move on. So that's my biggest memory. It's not necessarily a positive memory, but it is that kind of resilience, and sometimes things don't go your way.
Yeah. And the final question, what does your dream day look like if you could choose to do anything you wanted from waking up to going to bed?
Oh, that's the best question. A dream day. So it would have to start with breakfast. I love French toast. I've got a very sweet tooth. So French toast for breakfast. Then I'm also a big golfer. I love my golf. So I would play 18 holes of golf, and I would probably get a helicopter up to Scotland to go and play a Scottish golf courses because they're the best courses in the world. Then I'd definitely go to the cinema in the afternoon with a massive bag of popcorn, salt and sweet mix, and a large Diet Pepsi to kind of wash that down.
Yeah.
Then in the evening, I'd have dinner with my family, a Sunday roast beef with Yorkshire pudding and roast potatoes and all the trimmings. Amazing. And then in the evening, I would watch a game of Liverpool, and of course, we'd win.
That was an amazing answer. Well, that brings us to the end of the GCS High Five, and sadly to the end of the first ever episode of the Primary Pod. Mr. Bryce, thank you for having your time today.
I have actually really enjoyed it. And Dora, can I just say what an amazing job you've done as being the host? And I genuinely wish you so much luck this year as head girl.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bryce, and thank you for all of you guys for joining us today. Join us next time when Audrey will be sitting down for a one-to-one interview with Mr. Kieran, the Vice Principal. See you all next time.